Hello everybody and welcome back. I am here today to just have a bit of a play around really. I want to make some tags so that when I sell my journals or send off a happy mail or whatever, I can put in a kind of handcrafted tag where I can put a little message on the back. And I really wanted to use these scissors wax seals. So recently from Globeland I ordered these scissors wax seal, and I did kind of do some testers when I received my order, but they come out really lovely, and on my logo when I'm selling my digital kits it does say Non-Stop Papercrafts and a pair of scissors as well, so I thought these were perfect for this kind of project where I can make a tag. So I've done one example just to kind of show you what we're going to be doing, and yeah, I want to just make a few more, so that's what we're going to do today. So I did have my burner on, but I think my candle's gone out, so I'm just going to very quickly replace the candle. Okay, so I've replaced the candle in there, so that's now warming up. So yeah, so I want to create some more of these. So I have gathered, I've got this Non-Stop Papercraft stamp which I bought a couple of years ago. It did have this border around the edge, but all I've done is with a craft knife just kind of cut that off because I don't want the frame around it. I just want Non-Stop Papercrafts. As I said, I'm going to use the scissors wax seal. To create the circle, I've got this 2.5 inch circle punch. So that's creating the circles. And then I've just grabbed a load of different sort of paper scraps really. So some of them are like my printed design. So my kits, I've also got some handwriting paper, as you can see. I've got some map. And then I've got strips of tea stained paper, which is what I will use to stamp Non-Stop Papercrafts on. Got a teeny little scraps of either lace or cheesecloth, so I thought I might be able to use those as well. I've got some book page, but yeah, just going to layer it up, and like I said, it just makes each tag then individual. But you guys could obviously do something similar. You obviously might not necessarily have Non-Stop Papercrafts, you might have a different stamp that you want to use, but it's just a fun way to make a nice little tag that's a bit more personalised. So let's pop on some waxes and get those melting, and then while that's doing that, I think we're going to stamp Non-Stop Papercrafts. So I've got, how many have I got? Another 4 that I could make. So let's stamp those out. So I'm going to use VersaFine because I quite like VersaFine. I think it stamps really well. While this is not fine detail, the letters aren't particularly thick. So I'm just going to stamp this a few times, and I will tear around the edge. So I'll probably get a couple on this one. And move that to the side, bring in the next strip. We'll do a couple more on here. I've been wanting to do this for a little while, but I was thinking, do I reorder another stamp where I've obviously got the scissors on there, since that is now part of my logo? But then, like I said, when I saw the scissors wax seal, I thought, oh, that's perfect. Actually, I can, you know, be a bit creative with my tags, because when I do sell my journals or I do a happy mail, I do like to put something in there just to kind of either say thank you if they've purchased something, or thank you for supporting me if it's like a giveaway, that kind of a thing. So I do like to write a little message, so I thought this is a nice way to kind of personalize it. So that ink is drying a little bit. I'm just going to put that over there because the VersaFine does take a couple of minutes to dry, and what I'm going to do is just tear some of this paper into strips. Now I don't mind if it overlaps a little bit. If you look at this one, the papers are overlapping, that doesn't bother me. So I'm just going to bring it in. Obviously if it's overlapping too much, then we can still tear a bit off. So something like that. We could use some book page. And let's just use, got some scraps from the altered paper clips that were part of the challenge this week. something like that, and then obviously the non-stop Papercrafts across the top. So I did these two first, didn't I? So let's just tear that. And this is tea stained paper, so actually it's tearing quite nicely, which is obviously good. Something like that. Now you have a choice. You can obviously or stick it all down together. I'm actually going to staple it, although I think I might need to add a little bit of glue just to this book page. Just a teeny bit. That's going to go on there. And then non-stop Papercrafts, something like that. Okay, and then I've got the tiny attacher, which I'm just going to put a little staple in there. And then that's obviously going to go on there. So before I do anything, I want to ink around here. So I am going to use Vintage Photo. While I'm doing that, actually I'm just going to do this because it's melted. I want to try and get as many done as I can. I'm using different wax beads from last time, so we'll have to see whether, because again I've only used 2, so we'll have to see if 2's enough. Wax seal that way round. Put in. While that's melting, we'll put the next lot in. Oh, sorry, while that's setting, I'll put the next lot in for melting. Then we can carry on with this. Trying to multitask so that we're not just bored waiting for the wax beads to melt. But yeah, so I'm just going to give that a nice good ink all the way around the edge. I'm then going to use little hole punch just to punch a hole, obviously, at the top, so I can put a piece of string or something in there if I choose to. Then that's going to go on there, so I will use glue for this bit. So mostly around the staple and just around the middle. And then pop that on there. Then I've got this thread that I'm throwing across my table. I'm just going to grab a length, cut a bit off, and then just give it a little twirl around. And then that's going to go on there with that wax seal. So let's see. So there's my little scissors. Excellent. So again, I'm just going to use the Sharpie to go over those scissors. Now I know lots of people use different colours. Gold seems to be quite popular, but on my logo the scissors are black, and since I'm using quite a light wax, I thought using a black pen and having black scissors would be best. Okay, there we go. So after that, I used some double-sided tape. Actually, I've got a wider one. Where's that one gone? There it is. Pop that on the back. And then I grab my thread and pop it on. Then I grab another piece of tape the top. Oh, I think I've gone a bit over. That's fine, I can fold it over. Yeah, you can buy, there's actual like glue dots that you can have for the backs of wax seals. I've got some, but they're too big because they're for obviously the larger ones. So I'm just going to put, oh, is there a particular way that I want my scissors? I don't suppose it matters. We'll have them facing this way this time. And just stick that on there. And there's another tag. Excellent. Right, let's pour this out and set this one. And put that in. Right, so while that's setting, we'll get the next paws in there. Yeah, these are a little paw shape. These are quite cheap ones. I can't even remember where I got them from. They're not the best wax seals, I must admit. I think obviously they're just gimmicky because they are a paw shape. So while that's melting and while that's setting, we're just going to get the next bits ready. Now obviously I could do the same thing but using a normal tag shape, but I just thought a circle because again quite often my logo's within a circle, so I just thought it all kind of worked out right doing it this way. So on both sides. Did I do both sides on that one? Yep. Right, so the last one then. Right, and then we'll punch our holes. One, two, three. Okay. So now we need to create some clusters. So I've used this a couple of times now, so I'm not going to use that one again. What else have we got here? So we have got a large piece of map. Again, I've used map. Oh no, I used it in one, I didn't use it in two of them. So maybe we'll use some of this in the background. Quite like some of that text actually. I like a torn edge on both sides. Something like that. What else have we got? Maybe a piece of this. I'll try and maybe tear out one of the flowers. Something like that, and then obviously we need this part. Okay, and then I think I might use some cheesecloth in this one as well. It can all be stapled together. So that's all going to go something like that. Bit of cheesecloth. Just trying to get through all the layers. There we go. And staple. Have I got everything? I don't think I've got that map, have I? So I'm going to have to apply a double glue. of double glue on this side, just so the map obviously doesn't move. Okay, then let's move these over. So we have to be good at multitasking for all this, don't you? Don't know why I always check which way up the scissors are, because it makes absolutely no difference. And the last one. Right, so this will go on here, like so. So we can glue that on straight away. Like I said, I'd just like to go around the around the staple and across the middle. And then let's colour this in black. Okay, so there's those scissors. And I think, not that I mind imperfections, but I'm just going to cut off that part where it's kind of gone a little bit wafer thin on the end. And then follow the same process. So a bit of double-sided tape, bit of string. But you could mass make these. These are quite easy. And like I said, obviously, you don't have to do your own company ones. You could just do, they might just say thank you, maybe. Have a thank you stamp on there. Yeah, I couldn't actually find in my stash, and you'd think I have pretty much everything by now, but I could not find a thank you stamp. I have my stamps arranged into themes. So I've got like sentiment stamps, nature stamps, things that are kind of like office related or hobbies, so things like that. So it's possible that within one of those subcategories there is a stamp set that maybe has thank you, but I looked only in my sentiment stamp sets and I couldn't find anything there, which is very strange. I had a huge great big thanks stamp, but it's just way too big for this. Right, that is going to go down there. So there's another one. Right, we are on a bit of a roll. Oh, that one's got a little bit of white in it. That's fine though. That's not a problem. Right, pull this bit out. Pops that in. Right, okay. So we've got 2 more to do. Let's have a look what else we've got then. So I'm thinking maybe a bit more of a grungier look. So this one's a bit darker. So I think I'll use this. Let's see how wide that comes across. Oh, it's not too bad. I might just come in a tinsy bit. Okay, then I might have some book page again. And what else have we got? Obviously we need our non-stop paper crafts, so let's sort those bits out. This one I might even perhaps have a bit of lace on it. Something like that. Okay, so bit of map. Okay, which means my staple's probably going to have to be at the top. And I'm going to need a bit of glue under here to hold this in place. Like that. Right, so a bit of glue. Pops that on there. I must admit, I'm quite enjoying these. It's quite nice making them. Right. Let's have a look at these two. They're our last ones. I'm just going to blow out that candle. Right, so we've got that one. I think we'll do the wax seals together. So let's just get the cluster bit done for this one. What else have we got? I really like the greens down here, so I think I'm going to tear some of that. It's like a grungy green. Okay, and you get a kind of little bit of music paper as well, which is quite nice. Well, that's something I'm missing, isn't it? New music paper. And I've actually found some green one, so I might use a little bit of this. So maybe there. Again, a bit of cheesecloth. And oh, I've lost the strips with all the non-stop paper crafts on. There they are. Right, let's do one of these. Okay, let's see how that looks. Yeah, okay. All right, so I'm going to pick that up. Again, I might do my staple towards the top, just so that it kind of gets everything in. Okay, let's put that back on because we don't need that. And now we're just going to do these. So I think I'm going to colour them in first. I've got a huge mess on my desk now, so it's kind of losing everything. Let's just go over these. Right, okay, so that's those done. Now to then add some thread. Give it a little bit of a ball up. my tape. Now, I'm not normally somebody that mass makes. I don't like mass making. Certainly not for journals anyway, because I kind of get in the flow of a theme of a journal. So I find it hard to mass make stuff that is pretty plain and therefore can go in any journal. I know there are lots of people that love to mass make, but yeah, no, I can't do it. But this is obviously quite easy to mass make because it's not for a journal or anything. So there's the next one and the last one then. And there's no rhyme or reason as to how the string goes on either. I just make it all swirly and stick it on the back. And that one there. Okay, that was the last one. I'm going to clear a little bit of a space and then we'll have a look at each of them. So these are my finished cluster tags. I really love how these turned out, and I love that they're all individual, they're all a bit different. And yeah, like I said, perfect for writing messages on the back to say thank you if somebody's purchased something from me, or if I do a giveaway, or just some happy mail, just to kind of add my own little personal touch, my own personal message in the parcel. As I said at the beginning though, you do not obviously have to use these for packaging like I am. You could use these in journals, just obviously either use a different stamp, and it could be anything. It doesn't have to be words even. You could have, I don't know, birds, butterflies, whatever, different stamps on here. You may just have a cluster of scraps that you put on a tag. But I like the idea of adding the wax seal, especially because they are mini ones. So they're not huge. It's just a small kind of focal point piece on your tag. So yeah, I've really enjoyed this. As I said, I think these are perfect for what I want to use them for. But I also hope that it's given you some inspiration on how you could possibly make something similar for your own journals and projects. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I will have the link down below for the wax seal stamp if you are interested. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you all in the next crafty video. Bye for now.